to it. Not her mouth.
Why?
Sit.
She didn't say to there.
Huh? Why?
Get off her mouth.
It has. One thing that we haven't heard a lot about is what's going on at the border now. The way Democrats try to speak about it, they act like, well, it's been largely secured or partially secured. What's the status of the border as we go into this election season?
She's saying.
Sure, give me the status, but you first need to know the timeline.
You said, tell her you went get off.
Harris and Biden refused to take any action whatsoever, other than to allow people into until June, as in 2 months ago.
When watch your language.
That he said fixed the border problem. So timetable. Then remember that. And then if you look at when the decline actually began, people crossing the border illegally, it happened last year. So what caused it to begin to go down? What caused it was the action that Texas had taken. When you add it all up together, Texas has built miles of the same border wall that President Trump built. We've added those big orange buoys that stop people from crossing that are placed in the Rio Grande River. We have thousands of National Guard members that built hundreds of miles of razor wire border barrier that deny illegal entry. Here's the point. If you look at that park in Eagle Pass, Texas, that's 50 acres in size that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have used to process up to 5,000 illegal immigrants a day. I ordered the National Guard to wire that shut. And since that time, we've had an average now of less than one person crossing that area a day, as opposed to 5,000. Then on top of that, if you look at the overall decline in what Texas has been able to achieve over the past year of illegal crossings on the border, in Texas, it has gone down 87%. And because Texas represents 2/3 of the entire border, because of what Texas has been able to achieve, that means that overall illegal immigration across the entire border has gone down. It's been Texas, our efforts to put up with this, to do the things that
she's not eating any spirits,
which is to deny illegal entry. That's what has actually led to the massive decline in illegal border crossings.
Governor Abbott with us right now. Governor, I think this is really important. For what you do, if Donald Trump is elected in about 75 days and takes office in January, versus Kamala Harris is elected and takes office in January, what will it mean for the Texas border? And as a corollary to that, or in addition to that, what will it mean to so many other communities? Because people don't stop in Texas, all of them. They filter in everywhere. How much different is your job in Texas as right there on the front line of the border?
Keep it up.
Kamala in office versus Trump in office.
It's a difference. Trump does get elected, and one reason he will get elected is because of the disaster and the danger and the death the Harris side border policy. Think of all the people whose names you could write off right now who have been murdered by illegal immigrants who have been allowed in by Kamala Harris as the borders are. So, for one, the death and mayhem that we've seen over the past year will be eliminated. But more than that, President Trump will do two large primary things. One is reinstitute what led to the lowest illegal border crossings in 45 years, and then to reinstate the Remain-in-Mexico policy, some version of the Title 42 policy, and pension relief that was put into place by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and to continue to build the border wall. Those strategies will dramatically reduce not only illegal immigration, but also the murders committed by these criminals that are coming across the border. It will reduce the chances of terrorism by actually apprehending these people, either sending them back across the border or putting them in jail. So my job as governor of Texas, what Texas as a state is having to invest will decrease dramatically. So Texas are coming out of pocket about $10 billion out of our budget to fund our own border security. And that's money that we will be able to put right back into the pockets of our fellow Texans. So accordingly to expand into other states. Every state is now a border state.
Yes.
Not just with Pennsylvania to deal with
Stonehenge.
because they simply cannot afford to deal with.
Not dirty.
This is going to be better for people in Georgia, better for people in Pennsylvania, better for people in Michigan, Wisconsin, and definitely better for people in Arizona and Nevada. It's going to be so helpful to leaders.
Trying to think first one.
In all of these states. And that's why I think Trump is definitely going to win, because of the massive differential between what Trump will do as
and
what Kamala Harris has done in her open border policies and in the United States of America.
Speaking of Governor Abbott of Texas, Governor, I totally agree with you on both the stark difference in approach to the border from Trump and what the Harris administration would do. Also, I agree with you, Trump's going to win, but of course we have to focus and stay on the case here. I am wondering if you could just give us some sense, because I think the more that this can be made real to people, especially anybody who's a swing voter, the likelier it is to have an impact on election day. You know, New York State has, I think, spent $6 billion on illegals this year, and is looking like it will spend between $10 and $15 billion over a 3-year period of the Biden administration. What is the cost? I mean, to the degree that you can gauge it for us, the cost of illegals as Texas has to bear as a state.
Bridge.
So it's massive, just as Texas alone, whether it be because of the strategies that we have invested in to deny illegal entry, that we have to continue to invest in. As an example, Texas does their own military base that allows up to 2,000 national guard soldiers on the border outside of Eagle Pass. That costs a lot of money to continue to maintain. But then you look at other costs. You look at the healthcare costs. And by the way, I issued an executive order last week requiring all hospitals in the state of Texas to disclose exactly how much cost they're incurring to treat illegal immigrants. And we're going to be looking at the same thing with regard to our schools and other services, but it will probably, when you count schools, we're talking billions of dollars. But here's the important thing as far as costs are concerned.
Why? Stick your arm out there to get knocked off.
This is money. Understand this. I cannot make a more important point. Because of Kamala Harris's policies, you as a taxpayer of your state are going to have to come out of pocket to pay for services in your state for illegal immigrants. Money that you should not be taxed for, money that should be going into your pockets, money that should be used to reduce what you pay at the price of the pumpkin at the grocery store. But all those costs are going up because your state is going to have to spend more money dealing with the devastating consequences of Kamala Harris allowing more illegal immigrants into our country.
All right, you mentioned college football's back. Let's finish off with some positive news here, because I agree with Buck. Trump's going to win. You guys are going to deliver Texas. Ted Cruz is going to win down there as well. I saw you last week, your lovely wife as well. We had a good time visiting. I appreciate the fact that you're the most successful Vanderbilt Law School grad, even if they probably don't want you back on campus either. But you have got an incredible season coming up. Texas is now in the SEC. I told you, I'm coming down for that Georgia-Texas game. How much fun is Austin going to be now that the University of Texas is back in the SEC? And if you're an Aggie, that the Longhorns and the Aggies are going to be playing every Thanksgiving week all over again, too. For people who don't realize how much fun that's going to be and what a big deal it is, not to mention Oklahoma, who I know is a big rival, what's Austin going to feel like?
I'll tell you, but let me real quick tell you that when I had the chance to visit with you and meet your wife, I now know where you came out with the name for your show.
Hey, you did one for yourself, too, Governor, but we both about kicked our coverage for sure.
But listen, it's going to be an extraordinarily fun year for the University of Texas. Obviously, they played great last year, went to the Final Four playoff game. But what a lot of people don't know is that either they have everybody back, or even though they had 3 wide receivers that were drafted by the pros. The wide receiver team is going to be better this year. The quarterback is going to be better, 1 more year experience. We have one of the best offensive lines in the country. They're going to be a pinball machine when they run up scores across the nation. And we have an exciting game against Michigan, the second game of the year. Then we've got the gauntlet of playing OU at the Red River Rivalry game in Dallas, and then hosting Georgia. It finished off with the reuniting of the Texas A&M football game. That game alone, I mean, tickets are going for astronomical prices, so people can see it in person, and that's going to be something that a lot of eyeballs are going to be watching. I think it's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's going to be a lot of fun. Football is alive and well in the great state of Texas.
Say football.
You're on the radio?
Great to talk to you, sir. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, take care.
Some reports are calling it the mother of all data breaches. Last week, you might have seen this, was big in the headlines, reported that 2.7 billion records of Americans were stolen by cyber hackers from an entity known as National Public Data. This is a company that provides background checks to employers and other entities. I mean, it's hard to fathom how that many records could be stolen online in one breach like this, but it just shows you how vulnerable your online identity is. And you have zero control over how well it's protected by third-party companies like National Public Data. So it's so important to understand how cybercrime and identity theft are affecting our lives. Likewise, it's important you know how to protect yourself with LifeLock's help. They monitor millions of data points a second for any risks to your online identity. LifeLock detects and alerts you to potential identity threats you may not spot on your own. And when they spot it, they're in touch with you immediately. If you do become a victim of identity theft,
I'm so used to coming around this way, I forgot to
fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Terms apply. It's so easy to help protect yourself with LifeLock. Join now and save up to 40% off your first year with my name, Buck, as your promo code. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go online to LifeLock.com and use promo code BUCK for 40% off. Sometimes all you can do is laugh, and they do a lot of it with the Sunday Hang. Join Clay and Buck as they laugh it up in the Clay and Buck podcast feed on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast. The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, each weekday 1 to 4 p.m. on KFEQ. Now the most up-to-date weather forecast here on KFEQ.
Yep.
With disturbance rushing our area, small wind chance for precipitation with it as we're finishing off today. See fair weather too at our high near 80. And tonight partly cloudy, low.
I got something ordered and Faith might have something too. So
You ordered that?
I don't know. I got batteries ordered.
It'll rubble up under Friday night. Dry Saturday, the high 93. I'm Edie, your Aldrich, Jennifer Day or more.
A huge thank you to the amazing St. Joseph community. This is Tyler Reed from Reed Show. We are blown away by the incredible response to our
Oh, it's cold when it blows around the back of my neck.
Your support means the world to us. Come experience the difference for yourself. We've got a state-of-the-art facility, a massive selection, and top-notch service.
See, I thought about getting one of those scooters. Sounds fun to ride back and forth to work in.
Together, let's drive.
Problem is, though, in wintertime, I like the air conditioning too.
Every day, teachers are shaping our tomorrows, starting their students on journeys that will change the course of history.
Yeah, Booch.
Right now, in a classroom somewhere in the United States, there's a teacher declaring a future science will make preventing pandemics their life's work, sharpening the mind of an aspiring environmentalist who will help